We're going to welcome in our first guest today. Jim Foote, CEO of First Ascent Biomedical, is joining us now with a fascinating, topic today.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do and what brought you to Erie.
Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, at First Ascent, for cancer patients whose cancer's returned, we offer new ways to fight by combining functional drug testing with artificial intelligence and genomics. And we examine every weakness in their tumor, and we can deliver a report to a doctor in about a week.
Wow. So every case is different.
Every case is different.
And if somebody's watching this today and feels like maybe they can get the answers they're looking for through you, what is the process to this?
Yeah, no, great question. So right now, we're only operating under clinical trials. In fact, we have a clinical trial that's going to start next month out of Miami. It's we have a $1.8 million RCMI grant focused on minorities and health disparities in the minority communities. But part of what we're out doing is we're out trying to raise funding so that we can build a lab that we can operate outside of a clinical trial so that if you got sick today, we could help you.
And Jim, you have such a personal connection to this mission. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so, you know, it was, my son was diagnosed with cancer. And I was shocked when his cancer came back. And the doctors looked at me and said, Jim, what would you like to do? His cancer treatment failed.
Wow.
And I realized that at that point, there was a complete lack of technology, and that really changed the trajectory of my life. And I applied, all of my background in, solving complex problems, and really brought that to the solution that we've created.
And this is not a local company. You're visiting Erie from Utah.
Yeah, Portland.
Portland, yes. Oregon. Sorry, Oregon.
Yeah, we are not a local company, but it's interesting because the Erie Chamber of Commerce invited us here under a FIRE program, and what they're trying to do is attract entrepreneurs and companies, startups, to the Erie ecosystem, and to really bring companies like ours or technologies like ours to really help revitalize the community, and and specifically to us to be able to give world-class cancer care to the people in your community without having to travel to Cleveland or one of the cancer hubs.
I'm sure there's so many people listening to this where cancer has affected their families and want so much more information. Where can they find it?
Yeah, so we're First Ascent Biomedical, or firstascentbio.com is our website, and that's the easiest way to contact us.
And you'll work through your own cancer doctors or your primary medical doctors.
That's right.
You work with them so they don't have to go anywhere.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really the amazing thing about what we do is our platform can extend world-class cancer care to some of the most marginalized communities in the country, because all we need is a biopsy. You don't need to travel anywhere.
What about cost?
So the cost right now is one of the interesting things is we're working with the insurance companies here to see if this is an insurance reimbursable expense. Our goal is if you can't afford it, we're not going to charge you. But our costs are right now about $8,000. And as we bring in technology, we're actually working to drive those costs down.
Do you have a success rate at this point? I know you're still in clinical trials.
Yeah, so the scientists hate for me to say it, but we find actionable results about 85% of the time.
Okay, goodness.
And we've tested our platform on 18 different cancer types, including breast, lung, and leukemia, and have really provided just some really exceptional results. And that's why we're so excited, and that's why we're out trying to raise funding to build our lab so that we can help millions of people.
That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
It is. Jim, thanks so much for being here. I love that you saw a problem and you went to solve it. Thanks for sharing your story with us
Thank you
today.
for having me.
Yeah, sure.
When we